real quick so I can talk to you guys. Okay. I didn't bring my key with me, so I'm not gonna lock it back right away. Ooh, it's cold out here. I got my jacket, luckily. Selena Elostinos. So, okay. So, remember I told you guys I was going to talk to you guys about why does Abraham hate Chris so much, right? Well, I got a surprise for y'all. We about to get into it today, okay? Now, remember I told you guys I wear the hoop earrings. Y'all see them, right? And I have my cap on. Y'all see that, right? So, this is the Selena inspired look. I didn't put on any foundation, so you guys can see a few dark spots on my face that I can't get rid of. And a pimple that popped up here, that wasn't there yesterday, so that probably popped up overnight. So Abraham, right? Abraham has so much of a dislike for Chris because Chris has the type of personality to where Chris is reserved. He can take in a lot of stuff. Chris is not gonna pop off like a firecracker. Chris has a lot of patience. Also because Abraham thought that Chris was the type of man who was gonna come into Selena's life and take full and complete control like he does, right? One thing I have to tell y'all something real quick. I don't really like this lipstick too much because it brings out all the imperfection in my right eye. It makes it stand out more because this is standing out more. But that's okay. So Abraham thought that Chris was the type of man that was gonna come into Sel's life and take full and complete control. I'm gonna put this jacket on because it's cold. God dang it, it's cold. Oh, and y'all see my shirt? I can show y'all a better angle. Here you go. Representing Selena up in here, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. And it's about time I get my next haircut because this is getting a little bit longer and it's curling in the back. I don't like that. I like it shorter and I don't like it all curling up. See, us people of color with Indian or Caucasian textured hair, our hair has a tendency to curl when it gets long. Yeah, that's what it's trying to do back there. It's trying to curl. I want y'all to see the back of my sweatshirt. Let's read it. It says, if you have a dream, don't let anyone take it away, and always believe the impossible is always possible. Now, those are Selena's direct words, and I believe it was from an interview she had back in the 90s. Those were Selena's direct words. We was just talking about this in my other video, how if you got a dream, you protect it. You don't let nobody take your dream away from you, because there's a lot of people that tell you, you know, you can't do this, that, and the third. Ignore them, because they don't know what you can do. They not God. They didn't know you from conception. They don't know what your capabilities are. They don't know what type of talents you have. They don't know you. So who are they to tell you what you can't do? Who are them to tell you that you're not great, you're not special? Look, let me tell you something. In God's eyes, we are all special. You hear me? We are all special. So back to Chris and Abraham. Abraham is the type of man who takes full and complete control. He's a control freak, okay? And he had control over his kids. This man had control over his wife. This man had control over the band members. This man had complete control over Selena's money, the band's money, how the money came in, all of that. And granted, right, he was their manager. Managers usually know how much money is coming in and usually know how much the checks are going to be, or usually know how much, what type of money is finna be rolling in. That's their job to know these things. But Abraham was in control of all of this stuff, okay? He controlled how much money Selena was pulling in. I believe in Chris's book. If it's windy, sorry about that, you guys. I believe in Chris's book. Chris talked about how, I'm trying to put on my sweatshirt. I am freezing. It's freezing out here. Shoot. It is Sunday, April the 18th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And it is cold. Shoot. It's cold. Putting this sucker on, you hear me? One thing I'm going to tell you about these two sweatshirts I have. I know I keep getting off topic. Reason why I keep getting off topic, you guys, is because of this. Oh, look. Sales name upside down on the end of my sleeve. Yeah, I'm getting that part on. I'm getting this on here. I'm going to sit the camera down for just a second so I can put my sweatshirt on, okay? Hold on 1 second, you guys. Hold on. I'm going to sit the camera right here and I'm going to put on my sweatshirt. Ain't no cars coming, so we good. Gotta take my hat off first. I got my hood on, you know what I mean? Sorry about that, you guys. I had to put this on. I'm cold. Shoot. It's probably honestly, it's probably about 45 degrees right now. Yes, it's about 45 degrees. maybe a little bit higher than that, but it's cold. You hear me? And it might be colder than what I'm saying. It might be 40 degrees. I'm gonna say it's anywhere between. Right now, it should be anywhere between 40 and 55 degrees, somewhere up in there. I'm not a meteorologist, so I don't know. I'm going to show y'all my hair. I didn't curl it. It's about time it gets cut again. That's my haircut, but it's gotten long in the last 2 weeks, so I got to get it cut again. And I like keeping a short haircut, because it's what I can manage. I can manage it better. I can get up and go. You know what I mean? When I got to go to work, I get up and go to work. When I do Lyft, I get up and do Lyft. When I got to go to the grocery store, I get up and go. You hear me? I gets up and I go. All right. So since Abraham was the control freak type, right? He thought that Chris was that same type of man. Okay? And he thought that Chris was going to come in and ruin everything that he had built. So you got to think about it. Abraham is territorial, okay? He was territorial at that time, too. So he didn't want nobody to come in and destroy what he built. He didn't want nobody to come in and disrupt what he had set up for Selena and the band. And he didn't want nobody to get in the way of his money, okay? I should have put some lotion on my face. Every time I wash my face, it's like the soap dries it out. So anyway, so he was trying to protect that, okay? He was trying to protect his money, his coins, you know what I mean? He was trying to protect Selena's image because he thought the fans would think that if Selena was a married woman and her image was out there as a married woman, it would hurt the band, it would hurt the fan base, those things. Abraham was trying to protect Selena's career, Selena's image, and protect his bank account. Okay. So that's the second reason, okay? The third reason why Abraham hates Chris so much is because that Chris, like I said in the beginning of this video, Chris has a lot of patience. Chris allows Abraham to just walk completely over him, and he doesn't pop like a firecracker. If it was me, I would pop like a firecracker. You know what I mean? I'm an Aries. I'm gonna tell you something. You ain't gonna just walk over us and we not act out, okay? If somebody was making me feel like I was being threatened in any type of way, you're gonna know why not to cross me. I'm sure Selena was like that too, because Selena was an Aries. Us Aries, we are like that. We're loving, kind-hearted people. We care. We have big hearts. We're forgiving people. But when you make us feel like we're being crossed, it's a whole nother story. So Abraham was able to sit here and do all these things to Chris. And Chris sat here and took this stuff like a champ. He wasn't allowing Abraham to get under his skin like talking about it. But I think the other piece to this was that Chris wanted to show Abraham the utmost respect out of respect for Selena, because he loved Selena that much. He respected her that much. He didn't want to make her father feel like, you know, he was stepping on any toes or crossing boundaries, because he loves Selena and he respects Selena. So he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to hurt Selena in that kind of way. But now that Selena is gone, Chris still has a lot of poise. Chris still holds his shit together. Chris still takes the bullshit, deals with the bullshit. And if it were me, I wouldn't do it. See, that's where him and some people, and then me and some people are different. Like, that man is strong. You hear me? He's strong. Because it takes a lot of strength to deal with people like that, just constantly, you know? Second reason why he hates Chris is because he doesn't want Chris to get a hold of Selena's estate. And remember, if we go back deep into the story, back in 95 when Selena had passed, Abraham allegedly lured Chris and tricked Chris and manipulated Chris into signing this document that basically made Chris sign away all of his rights to Selena's estate. Excuse me, hold on one second, an allergy attack. See, when I get out in the cold, my allergies always start. He manipulated Chris and tricked Chris into signing the document that basically made Chris give away all his rights. See, I know what y'all probably thinking. What am I looking at? I don't know if y'all can see this, but I'm gonna zoom in. Oh, a car is coming. I need to get out of their way. I can't zoom in, but that building right there is buckling. Right there, that siding is buckling. That's how you know that people who build these condos built them cheap. These condominiums were built cheap. So anyway, so now that Abraham has 100% control and rights to Selena's estate and Selena's image, Selena's name, Selena's likeness, all of that, right? Abraham has the power and the ability to stop Chris from doing projects regarding Selena, to stop Chris from doing anything in the media, if it's a series, a movie. I'm surprised Abraham even allowed Chris to do a book, right? Because when Chris wrote his book, he said, and even in interviews, he said he got Abraham's blessing to do the book. So that was a complete shocker that Abraham even allowed him to do the book, because as greedy and selfish as Abraham is, you would think that he would have some type of, you know, issue or feel some type of way about Chris doing the book or even allowing him to do the book. I'm surprised, because he didn't took Chris to court over trying to do a series, but he allowed him to do the book. So I don't know. And I think another reason why Abraham dislikes Chris so much is because he probably wish he was Chris. Because see, you got to think about it this way. When Abraham was in the band back in his heyday, his band didn't really go anywhere. They did some touring, they did some performances, they put out a few records, but their band wasn't successful. It didn't go anywhere. You know, at the time his band was called Los Dinos, but it didn't go anywhere. So then when his children came into play and he recognized their talent, he made them the second generation of Los Dinos. So anyway, Chris is a successful guitar player Chris has his own fans. Chris has records. Chris has a Grammy. Does Abraham have a Grammy? As my fellow YouTuber will call him, the dictator. Does he have a Grammy? Does he have a fan base that loves him? Does he have a fan base that respects him? No. Is people talking about him and his name without his daughter? No. Like without Selena, wouldn't nobody be talking about Abraham? But are people talking about Chris even without Selena? Yep. So Abraham is jealous of Chris, and this is my opinion. I think Abraham is jealous of Chris. It's so freaking cold, man. You guys don't understand. If you don't live in Texas, you don't understand the level of cold. Like, it's a freaking ice box out here, like crazy. Like, my hands are burning, y'all. Like, I don't have on any gloves. My hands are burning. Woo! My goodness. Abraham probably wants to be Chris. He probably wants to be Chris. And then the fact that Chris was a threat to Selena's estate when Selena passed away, because since he was the husband, he had legal rights to Selena's estate. That was a threat to Abraham. Do you guys understand that? That was a threat to this man. Good morning, how you doing? That was a threat to this man. So he had to figure out a way to get Chris to sign them dang on documents, because if he didn't figure out how to get Chris to do that, Chris was probably legally going to take it all, because that was Chris's right to do so. That's that corner I didn't get. I got this corner good. I can get that corner good. But that was Chris's right to do so. If that's what Chris chose to do, that was his right to do so, to take all of Selena's estate if he chose to do that. But Abraham wanted to stop Chris from doing that. So he was successful in getting Chris to sign these documents and successful in getting Chris to sign away his rights. I'm going to leave out the gate of my community because I'm tired of walking around in circles. And I know how to get back in here because I got the code. So I'm going to use the pedestrian door and not the drive-through door and walk through the pedestrian door. But yeah. Why else does Abraham hate Chris so much? We went over it, right? Abraham can't get Chris to budge. How he has all this patience and stuff when Abraham does all these things to Chris. That shit, most of us would like straight up buck. I would buck. Leaving out the gate here. Okay. Abraham thought that Chris was the type of man who was going to take complete control of Selena and her career. And he probably thought that he was going to talk Selena into quitting the band. He probably thought that he was the type of man that was going to take control of Selena's money. And he probably thought that Chris was just going to take it all from him. Because you got to understand, anybody in that position, I'm understanding Abraham just a little bit when you look at it from this perspective. He probably just thought Chris was going to come in and take it all. Or he probably thought Chris was going to come in and ruin Selena's image, ruin what they built, ruin the Dinos band, and ruin everything. He probably just thought he was just going to ruin it all or take it all. So he was just defensive about it because that was his baby. You know what I'm saying? Selena y los Dinos was Abraham's baby. This is what Abraham and his children built for 17 years on the road. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that was about. He didn't want this cat to come in and take everything he had built. And then, just jealousy. Abraham, I believe, is jealous of Chris. The level of success, rather, that Chris has. Abraham probably wish he had that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the home hitter is Chris married his daughter without his permission. Because remember, Chris and Selena had eloped, remember? They eloped, and this was this was his daughter's idea. This wasn't Chris's idea, but still he holds this against Chris's, head. He holds this over Chris's head, over Chris's shoulder, as if this was Chris's idea for them to elope when it was Selena's idea. Selena wanted to do this to prove a point to him, that you're not going to have control over my relationship. You're not going to tell me what to do. I'm grown. And you just going to have to accept it. And this is what it is. And Aries, we like that. Like when somebody make us feel a certain way, like give us this threatening feeling like you're trying to take control, or we'll let you know who's really in control. That's just how Aries are. So Selena did that. So yeah, he feel like Chris robbed him of his daughter. He feels like Chris took what was his. Do you understand? When you look at a man and you think about a man's mentality, a man is not going to back down. A man is not going to let somebody come in and take in what's theirs. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Abraham hates Chris so much. Because he feel like Chris took something from him. Chris was a threat to him. Chris was a threat to what he had built. He hates the fact that Chris has so much patience and so much poise. And he wishes and he envies and he is jealous of Chris's success, Chris's fan base, and what Chris has as a musician. And he has done all of this without Selena. After Selena had passed, Chris still got fans. People still talk about Chris. Chris has a huge supporting fan base because of Selena, but aside from Selena, he got his own fans. Chris has family that supports him. Chris has 2 children. Because you got to think, the Quintanillas feel some type of way, I'm sure, about Chris having children that are not Selena's, okay? So that made them feel like it was a slap in their face and a slap in their sister's face and their sister's legacy, is how dare you go out and marry another woman and have kids by her. So the Quintanillas probably feel some type of way about this. And I heard this through the grapevine, that the Quintanillas is hurt about Chris moving on and Chris having children. But I mean, shit, he's a human being. What else did they expect him to do? Selena's gone, man. I mean, he has to at some point be able to move on with his life. We are all hurt that Selena is gone, but his life has to go on. And Selena wouldn't have been mad at him for that. Selena would have understood. Selena would have wanted Chris to move on. So Abraham feels some type of way about Chris getting married. That probably hurt Abraham's feelings, even though Abraham played like he hated Chris's guts. He did have some type of connection to Chris in the sense that he did look at Chris as a son, even though he didn't get along with Chris, even though he didn't like Chris, even though he didn't fully accept Chris. He looked at Chris as a son. And when he married, I think her name is Vanessa, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on this. I think her name is Vanessa. So when he married Vanessa, that hurt Abraham's feelings. That hurt his wife's feelings, Selena's mom. And that hurt Selena's siblings' feelings, AB and Suzette. That hurt their feelings. So they feel some type of way about that. And then when he had the children, that was probably more of a dagger in their hearts. So Chris done some things. He made some moves that really hurt their feelings. He's jealous and envious of Chris. Chris was a threat to him in the beginning. He didn't want Chris to take what he built and what was his. Chris has a lot of poise and a lot of patience. He doesn't like any of that. So there you have it. That's why Abraham hates Chris so much. Jealousy, envy, dislike, and also just the fact that Chris as a man and Chris being who he was to his daughter, that was a threat to Abraham. Chris was a threat to him. And you know, I understand, because look, dealing with my mother-in-law and my in-laws, I had a taste of dealing with in-laws and their jealousy, in-laws and their envy, or in-laws and their dislike for you for whatever reason they have it, right? And my mother-in-law did me in. Like she She did me in. And she did some things that really hurt me because I trusted her. I let my guard down with her. And it's some of my own fault for even allowing my guard to be down. But when you marry into a family and you have a relationship with your in-laws to the point that it causes you to let your guard down and causes you to trust them, it's like you become an open book for things to happen to you, or for things to get thrown at you, or for low blows to be thrown at you. And that's what happened to me. That's what happened to Chris and many other people who deal with their in-laws. All right, well, this is the end of the video here. I'm finna go ahead and walk back into my house. It's a beautiful sunny day in Austin, Texas. I love it here. And I love you guys. Stay safe. And like I always say, do you live your best life, get yourself together, and no robot behaviors over here. See you guys in the next video. Peace. Later.